the able and capable UI UX mentors, the likes of Buma, Marachi, Tolu, Favor, Chidera, and also have Design Chi on the call. So over to you, Buma.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Buma will be joining us a little bit later, so I'll be anchoring for now.
Okay.
Okay. So how is everyone doing? No one is answering me. I hope everyone's day is going great.
Yeah, it's going
no,
great.
we cannot answer because we have not raised our hands.
Interesting. Anyway, today's session is not going to be, we're not going to learn anything. Or well, we're not going to learn anything new, but we're going to review what we've learned so far in relation to the tasks we've been given and what we have as mentors have seen. Okay, so do we understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
Thank you, Edidion. I can see your comments. I'm happy that everybody's doing great. So before I start, I want to commend everybody that has made it from stage 1 to stage 2. Congratulations. And I also want to commend everyone who took out time to do the task. I know it's not easy dealing with your everyday life and still making that time for KodeCamp. So you are all doing wonderful. Now, with that being said, okay, we noticed some very interesting things while we were grading. But before I say that, did anyone have any issues with the assignment? Please indicate. Anybody? You can raise your hand. So no one had any issue. Okay. Wow. Okay. Moiwa, you can speak. Let's start with you.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, I think the major problem I had was the user persona that we were asked to design. I think that was the last task that we were given before we promoted. I had issue because I'm still trying to get a grasp of Figma, which is what I used to design the content that I used to submit my assignment. So that was the only problem I had along the way, basically.
Okay. Thank you. Samuel, can you share?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think one of our major problems was sharing the documents because some of us, when we share, I think we forget to give access to maybe view or editor or something like that. So I think that was our major challenge in submitting those documents we create, and we put our screenshot inside the Google document, and then we have to share with the submission link and all that. I think so.
Okay. Thank you, Samuel. Adeze, can you share your own opinion? Adeze, are you with us? Okay. Williams, can you share your own opinion?
Hi, good evening.
Okay. Good evening. Who is speaking? Okay, I think it was Adeze and she left us. Williams, can you share with us, please?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hi, how is everyone?
Great. So share with us.
Okay, one of the issue I had with the assignment and tasks is at some point I was confused. I saw activity 3 and 4. I didn't see activity 1 and 2. And I didn't know if activity 1 was the one we had to post on social media and share the link. I was trying to correlate, organize everything and submit. But then I didn't know that there was a thread for assignments until somebody had to share it, which I joined later. And after checking through the history of the messages that was posted there, I still didn't see assignment for activity 1 and 2 and activity 5. I only did activity 3 and 4, and the one that we were asked to post on social media. And then there was another one too that we had to fill online. So like the survey. Those are the only 4 I did. So at this point, I don't know if I have been able to do activity 1 and 2, and I don't know how the activity 5 assignment looks like.
Okay.
Okay, please let me react to that. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so Williams, this is what I'm going to say to you. Try as much as possible to check pinned messages. Okay, for the announcements channel, yes, you will find that there, and also follow up with the task channel. That is where every task is going to be dropped from now till for you. I think you're not in stage 2 yet, are you?
No, I am. I'm not.
And okay, good. So that's where you find it. But for now, activities 3, 4, and 5 is no longer available. So you can do that to help you learn better and practice. So you should be doing the bonus task if you want to be graded and moved to stage 2. Okay, but always make sure to check pinned messages for any channel you actually want to join. It is very, very important. Okay.
Okay. Was there actually an activity 1 and 2 assignment? Was it stated like?
If there's an activity 5, then there's definitely activity 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1.
Yeah, I did 3 and 4. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, congratulations for doing them. Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure which one of them was activity 1 and 2. And
okay.
The activity 5, and I'm still looking for the bonus task too.
The bonus task is on the task channel.
Okay.
There's a task channel. Just join.
I just joined recently. I mean, the thread, the task channel. I just joined it recently.
Okay. You can't still see the task.
It seems the whole Slack thing is overwhelming to me sometimes, but I'll check it and then go through them.
Just calm down and go through it. I understand it can be a lot if you're new to it. Thank you, William. Just take time. The task is right there on the task channel. It's new. Okay. No one else has said anything after that one. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So okay, let's go back to Daisy. Daisy, are you ready to share with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
If I heard the question correctly, you said the challenges we faced, right? While that way you are. Hello? Am I being disconnected again?
We can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
I said, if I heard you correctly, the question you asked was, we should talk about the challenges we faced while doing the taxes, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. The challenges I faced are one, because I traveled and I'm not in my house, I had just my phone.
Okay.
To work with. I had this difficulty of clickable templates for mobile phones. So to do my assignments, I had to look for someone who had empathy map.
Okay.
And then because I couldn't be watching the YouTube video and then also operating my phone because my phone cannot do a split screen.
Okay.
The challenge I faced was having to go look around. Please, who has a laptop? Please, who has a laptop? So I want to ask, is there a way, because I can't be going everywhere with my laptop, is there maybe an application I can download or something that can make the work easy for me? Because I really went through a lot of frustration trying to look for who owns a laptop that was closest to me.
Okay, for what exactly?
Hello, have I been logged out again?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I think your network is bad.
Yes, I can hear you
now. But to answer her question, the fact is, the higher we go, I mean, very soon we'll start using Figma. So Figma is not really available for mobile or tablets, and you would always need a laptop. And that's one of the constraints of being someone in tech. You are always carrying a laptop around. It's very irritating, but you have to find a way to, make that work for you. if you want to take tech seriously. Okay. We'll take one last opinion, and that's from Victoria, and then we can just go on. Okay, Victoria, please be quick and share what you want to share. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, the challenges I actually have has to do with empathy mapping. I missed the class, so I saw the question. The question looked so boring, I don't understand. So when I have some checked, someone actually helped me with the note. So I went through the note to actually answer the question. But the thing is, I did not really still understand it. You know, it's been divided into four now. We have think, we have say, we have feel, and we have do. So what I was able to do was to follow the comprehension given now that we should go through, and from there we should be able to answer the question. So I just tried to figure out what the person should be, what that person is thinking, and I try to look at my actual question is that, am I supposed to come in as an individual and be answering like, okay, this, let's say for instance, the person is being frustrated because she's new in town and she doesn't have anywhere to go to for help. So definitely she needs a dog walker, somebody that can help out, creating an app. What the question now is, how am I doing? What I don't understand is the feel. How does it feel? Is it that I'm supposed to come up with asking the question indirectly and be answering it? Or I did it.
Okay, Victoria, I understand where you're coming from. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Now, there's something you need to understand when it comes to tech, and I think it's something we've noticed. You need to, if you missed a class and you watch the rebroadcast on YouTube, and you still don't understand it, there's YouTube. You can watch 1,001 videos on YouTube that will break it down even more for you. You can read articles on Medium that will break it down even more for you. You can go on Instagram. You can even ask your mentors on Slack. Like the opportunities of getting resources are endless. It is just your ability to use said resources. Sometimes we see people on Slack, on our platform, who are asking each other, the community asking each other, hi, who has done this assignment, who can break it down for me? Things like that will help you. You get, so you need to make the effort to ask the questions that would help you understand. Now, concerning the research question, if you read the template you were given, they didn't start asking the woman, okay, how do you feel? It wasn't that direct. That's the thing about questionnaires. They are not, they are coined in a way that would leave the person or the respondent to be vulnerable. You get, so you can actually ask a respondent a personal question without having to be personal. You get, so it's up to you to understand how to coin those questions. And from her response, you could understand how she feels. She loves her dog. So her dogs, sorry. So that's a feeling. That's love. She's she feels inadequate most of the time because she's not able to walk her dogs when she wants to because of her work. Inadequacy is a feeling. So it's up to you as a researcher and someone who took time to listen to what your respondent was saying to digest and break those things down.
Okay.
Do you understand me, Victoria?
I understand where you are coming from, but when it comes to reporting,
okay,
when I want to report
thank
it now,
you. Victoria, you can bring your hand down.
Okay,
you're saying?
I'm saying that when it comes to reporting, okay, I want to report now. You understand? I've gone through that scenario. I've seen everything. I wrote in my stuff that under how she feels that she loves her dog. I wrote it there. But is it supposed to be like she loves her dog, or love, or just love, or just
You could. It's up to you.
Things like that.
Me, I would write love. To you, you can write she loves her dog.
That is
it's
what
a feeling.
It's
up to you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you. You can just bring your hand down.
yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, so thank you to everyone who shared. Okay, everyone else, you can just bring your hand down. Later on, we would try and see if you take more opinions. Okay, so thank you. We understand now what you went through, and we know how to use your feedback to help you better. Okay, now we want to share our own feedback based on what we've seen. I would start with the design thinking assignment because I know I graded that one. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. Sorry. Hi everyone. My name is Amarachi. Okay. Um, the design thinking assignment, it was interesting because it's meant to show us as mentors how you think. Okay, it's an expressive question. You're meant to use what you've learned to apply to the case study you were given. But we noticed that a lot of people, especially in the second question, where you were given a scenario question, they would either go online on Google. And let me just tell you this. Do you know that Google Docs will expose you when you just copy someone's work from the internet? It will gray it out. If you don't know, just know now, it will gray it out that actually this is copied. And I knew you don't need to copy what someone else put online. And by the way, most of what you copy, in fact, everything you copied was wrong because it's an expressive question. It requires you to think about it from the point of view of a UX designer, not from the point of view of a software developer or someone who is trying to, I don't know, I was saying really different things, okay? You're supposed to look at it from the angle of a UX designer, starting with empathy all the way down to test. Do you get? And a lot of people did copy from the internet and just copy and paste, and that's very wrong. And even if you're copying from the internet, you can actually paraphrase because um, you don't take people's intellectual properties like that. That's very, very wrong. And I know I said something like that on Slack. Plagiarism is very wrong. You need to paraphrase, even if you use their stuff, paraphrase and reference them. You get so that it will not look like you're actually stealing their work. It's very, very wrong. So for questions like that, try and read it as many times as possible, digest it, and then express yourself. There are a lot of people that their work was so good, and I could see who they were as designers that I enjoyed reading them. I read them over and over again because it was just so nice. You get? Because I understood them. The way they went about the problem was different, but they all had the same goal, and that was to solve that situation they were given. Now, another thing we noticed is that some people just iterated the definition of the design thinking processes for us. So for number 2 now, they're saying, okay, the way they would actualize the goal is using empathy. Then they just copied the definition of empathy from maybe the internet or from the slide and pasted it. Okay, fine, no problem. If you say that you're going to use quantitative research how? And how in relation to the case study given? Do you get? So if you say, okay, we will do quantitative research. Quantitative research in what case? Okay, we would share out questionnaires to who? Users. What kind of users? Okay, young people between the age of this and this that we've noticed have interest in tech. What would the questionnaires be about? Okay, asking them questions like, what issues do you face learning new skills? Looking at the situation of COVID, how did you, or what new skills were you able to learn? And what platforms did you use? Things like that. Do you know that you can really use a situation like COVID as like a key point to buttress so many situations? Be detailed, understand the question, and relate it to what you already know. Don't just tell us what empathy is. We already know what it is. But how would you use empathy in relation to the question given? Okay. Then another thing we noticed was that a lot of people did not organize their work. So it was really, really complicated trying to read what people were saying. A lot of things were jam-packed. Please space your work, okay? Please, so that we can read and understand. Please, readability is very, very important so that we'll not just our eyes, please, okay? Let's space our work, keep it neat, and submit. Then the first question was, what is design thinking? Like, in your own words, people are still copying from the internet. I mean, let's express ourselves. That's the essence of being a designer. You are a problem solver and you are looking at things from your own lens in that particular field. What is design thinking? If you ask me, I would say design thinking refers to tackling problems by ensuring that the user is always king, or by putting the user first, or by prioritizing the user, and you've gotten your mark. People were just copying from the internet and just going off points. It really did not relate. Another thing we noticed was that people did not, some people would just skip the question, especially the number 2 question. They not attempt it at all. Just the number 1, the number 3. How? Number 2 was like the strong one. That's where we really wanted to know if you understood the concept, and we wanted to see who you were. So far, as the designer and as someone who's budding, as a budding designer, we wanted to understand, but you skipped it, and that's not how it goes. Attempt, try as much as possible to use maybe some of the things you've learned and try to picture it in a way that would make sense to you and give us what you think should be the solution. You get. Another thing we noticed a lot actually. Another thing we noticed was that people didn't understand the second question. Now, we were seeing things about LCM, LMIS, Learning Management and Information System, UMIS, different things that did not relate to the question at all, because people were going on the internet. That's the thing. The question wasn't coined from the internet. It was someone sat down and came up with that question. Okay, so it has no relation. Try as much as possible to understand what the question is, because every week we give you a task, it will be in relation to what you've been taught. We won't give you anything outside your scope. So try and understand the question and relate it to what you have learned so far. Okay, so am I moving too fast? If I'm moving too fast, please let me know so that I can come back and catch everyone up. Can you still hear me? Okay, so
Yes.
okay, thank you. Adese says I should give the answer to number 2. I'll give you my answer from my own point of view. Emeka, your hand is up. Yes, we can. Can you share what you want to share? Please, quickly. Thank you.
Okay. Well, and also based on the last task. So can you hear me because kind of
I
shaky?
can.
Hello?
We can hear you. Speak up.
Okay. Okay. Let me just share a challenge quickly. I like I know how to use Figma, so I won't say I'm not a beginner. So let's say at least I'm familiar with some things in Figma. But using
Okay.
Figma, because it's a new tool in Figma, it was kind of complicated. So honestly, I had to check for templates
Okay.
to avoid plagiarism. I customized it to my taste based on the question.
Mm-hmm.
So it was because of the timing and everything. Although I still plan our work, because I said that what I'll do is later on I'll go and learn how to use the Figma. But
Okay.
I've not been able to do so much on that so far.
Okay. Thank you,
Then
Emeka.
secondly,
I can hear you.
the last. Can you hear? I just I'm not done.
Okay. Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Speak on.
Okay, let me just quickly. Okay, based on the last class we had on Tuesday, there was an app that was shared. I think Myro. Myro is the name
Yeah.
of the app. So I tried to download it, but I don't know. It's like I have the app. I downloaded the app, but it's like, how will I put it? I don't know how to explain, but it seems as if like it's not working like a normal desktop app on my system. So I don't know if maybe the app just they recently launched the app, or is still in the testing phase or something, or will I say beta testing phase, or because like I'm not able to I don't know how to put it, but it's not like if you are familiar with Figma desktop app,
I am.
this one does not work like that. So I don't know if it's only me that is experiencing.
Okay, is
Or
Miro web based?
I
Can you
just said
still
let me
use
share it.
it on the internet like Figma? It should still be web based, yeah.
I mean, the app is not like it's not flowing, like
I get it,
it's not
but is
working
it
like a
web
normal
based?
desktop app.
Yes, but
So I don't know
it's still
whether
web
maybe the
based.
app
You
web
you
based is web based. Yes, yes.
okay? The web based one is
But I prefer
perfect,
working
right?
with an app.
Okay. Now, the essence of the app is
The web
just so
based
that
one
you
is
don't have
okay,
to
but I prefer working.
go.
I just asked.
Yes, but for now you're complaining that that issue exists for the app. So why not use the web based? And I'll do a research, then I'll get back to you because I don't use Mirror. Okay, so I will do a research on if it's still in beta, and then I'll get back to you and I'll put that on the group chat. Is that okay, Emeka? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So let's just move on. And let me just quickly answer Andra's question. So she said I should answer number 2. Now, number 2 was just okay that Codehouse wants to develop a platform that would help people who are not so privileged in technology. I'm paraphrasing basically, get access and learn tech skills across the world, basically. Now, firstly, how would I solve that problem? One, I'll do a quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative research in the sense that I'll create a questionnaire and maybe a Google Doc questionnaire, and then I'll create another one using, I'll create another one on Twitter, then I'll put it up on Twitter and I'll allow random people, maybe a poll on Twitter, answer maybe 1 or 2 or 3 questions. Like one, looking at the present situation, COVID-19, what skills or what tech skills were you interested in learning or did you learn? 2, what difficulties did you face learning those skills or learning that skill? 3, what platform did you use? And what challenges did you face with that platform? 4, if you could change one thing about those platforms, or if you could change anything, what would you change? 5, what do you think would help you learn better, especially as a novice? Okay, so that's just a sample of the kind of question I would ask in my questionnaire. Now, for the quantitative research, and that's the one I prefer the most because people are more vulnerable when you do a qualitative research because you can kind of read their expressions and you can observe them in terms of the way they react to your question before they even answer. So I can meet maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people from different age range. Okay, so maybe I can find out that maybe the people that use this are people between the age of, let's say, or that want to learn tech are people between the age of, let's say, 18 to 35. So I would meet people between that age range, maybe around my neighborhood or around where I stay, my city or something. And I would ask questions. It'd just be a conversation. That's the thing. It would just be a conversation. They won't even know that they are being interviewed. But I'll ask them questions. Those same questions that are in the questionnaire, but coined differently. And when I now get my feedback, I'll store that. Next, I'll go to Codehouse and I'll speak to the stakeholders. So I'll talk to the owners, I'll talk to the product manager, and I will ask them, okay, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve with this platform? What are your limits? What would you not like to see there? What would you like to see? Okay. What kind of people do you expect to reach out to? Okay, so things like that. I would store that information. Now, when I'm done with once I get the feedback from the user, feedback from the company, I'll keep everything. Now it's time to analyze and evaluate my feedback. Now, from my feedback, I found out that a lot of people really were interested in learning new skills, new tech related stuff during COVID-19, especially during the lockdown, because one, tech was what was in, 2, tech was providing jobs for a lot of people. Okay, so let's take that. That's the main reason why they wanted to learn it. Okay, the platforms they use, some people said they used Udemy, some people said they used SoloLearn, some people said they used different platforms. Okay, the problems they face with that platform, let's say Udemy, they couldn't really afford to pay for the platform. Then SoloLearn, they didn't really have like core mentors, like people that they were sure were, would I say, people that were already in the industry and making waves. You get they didn't know how to identify those people because there are so many people in the community. Then then let's say the issue about resources. Okay, they said they were very confused about where to get the quality resources because there are so many resources online. They don't know which is true, which is false. Now that information is gotten. So next, I will create my empathy map or user persona. Now let's remove that because we hadn't learned that by that particular class. So we won't need to do that. So I've gotten my information. Next, I will now start I will now brainstorm with my team. Okay, what exactly should we do to solve this problem? How are we going to solve this particular issue? Should we use a web-based platform? Should we use an application? If we're using web-based, why? If we're using an application, why? We'll brainstorm, we'll argue, and then we'll come to a decision. Let's say, okay, we're using a web-based platform. Next, we'll now talk about the features we want on our platform. Okay, we want a community feature that would allow learners to discuss and meet other learners like them and learn and grow together. Two, we want a mentorship or a mentor platform where they would meet people who are already like in the industry and already have this experience and are working on site in the field. Okay, so and they can have conversations or chat with them, and these mentors can actually chat with the learners as well. Okay, then three, we'll have a resource feature on our platform where mentors or the administrator would post daily resources on the different tracks. Okay, then we'll have a track. Okay, maybe during registration, the learner would select the track they want to do or the tracks they want to do. So this is just like a hypothetical feature I would put on my platform, and that what we'll have during the brainstorming session. Now the next one is to do the wireframing. And while we're doing the wireframing, we put these features, just rough sketch, okay, into something rough that we'll show to the stakeholders, and we'll present it to them and we'll ask them, okay, do you actually like how this looks? Does this meet your goals? If they like it, we'll now move on to the visual design stage. Now, visual design is where we add our color and everything and make it look beautiful. Then we start testing. The testing phase is so important. So we can get maybe 20, 30 people come in, or we'll share a link using user mass, or we'll use user maze, or we use Marvel to create the user testing, and we'll share it with so many different people, and they will test it for us and leave feedback. And we can observe the heat maps and see how people relate with it and the difficulties they had. Okay, now from the testing, we will now know, okay, what problems did these people face? What issues did they face? Were they able to accomplish the task on time? Were they not able to accomplish it on time? Okay, if they weren't, why? All those things we'll put into consideration. Then that's when we'll go back again to the definition stage, then follow down to the next stage, and we'll keep going back again, visual design, and we'll test again over and over again until we develop a system that would meet the needs of the users sufficiently. Now, mind you, not every system is perfect, but we want to develop a platform that users will feel so comfortable that they won't even notice when there's any usability issue because everything just feels seamless. Okay, so I'm just using my own words. The way you would do it is completely different to you. There are so many people that were so expressive with their assignment. There were other people that were structured and they still defined what they needed to define, and they let us know what they think they should do. So to each his own. But at the end of the day, is the way you express yourself that helps us understand. You understand what we spoke about on design thinking. Okay, Daisy, I hope I've answered your question, and I've made that clear to everyone else. Are we still here?
Yes, we're here. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes,
are
we are
here.
here. Yes, we are here. Oh. Hey.
Hi. So I know it sounds long. The answer to that's number 2. It sounds really long, and people actually did it. But there were some people that gave me 3-liners, and they got 3-liners mark, But that's the thing. You need to be expressive. Don't just put three things. I would carry out qualitative research, then create wireframe, then test. How? That's what I kept asking. How? Okay. If it helps, what you should do is when you're given a question like that, imagine you are actually presenting this to real stakeholders. It will really help you put your best. Okay. So I don't know if there's any other mentor here that graded the empathy map assignment and the user persona assignment and wants to share what they experienced and some feedback with the learners so that everyone can grow from it. Buma, are you here now? No? Okay. What about Tolu? No? Wow. Okay. So do we have any
Are you calling my own Tolu?
Wait, let me see. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm calling your own Tolu. Do you have anything to share, like concerning the assignment?
Yeah, you've addressed it.
Okay, I've addressed it.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so someone is asking about the usability testing platforms. Okay, you would like to calm down. Don't rush it. Okay, don't rush it. We'll get there and we'll learn about all those things. Don't rush it so that you won't feel overwhelmed. Then another thing I've noticed is we don't use Google for the right things. We really don't. This sharing of links, something, and giving access stuff, if you don't know how to use it, a quick Google search would really help. Use YouTube, ask, how do I share a link, share my file using Google Doc? Enter, and you would see answers. Okay, so let's use Google very well because it's your friend. It really help you as a budding designer and as you grow. Okay, so I really hope, mentors, I hope I have addressed the issues we had during, like, concerning the assignments. If there's anyone I haven't addressed, and if there's anyone that wants to share anything else, the floor is yours. Anyone?
Hey, okay, let me come in here. Hello everyone, my name is Ikichuku. I'm actually not a UI UX person, I'm just an enthusiast. Okay, I kind of love UI UX, so but I'm not a UI UX person, I'm more of Android. Okay, but I was privileged to grade you guys. Yes, I was privileged to go through some of you guys' assignments, and kudos to those who actually did very well. First of all, I want to commend you all, okay, for the efforts you actually put into it. I kind of love people who do online trainings because I know it's not easy. So I try as much as possible to always I encourage them whenever I have the opportunity to. Okay, but it's still necessary for us to talk about some certain lapses that we noticed that would really that would help you guys. Okay, so some of you need to know the issues, why probably you were not promoted, or probably why you may have had a lower score and everything. So I'm just going to talk about a few of them. And one is very, very key. The fact that most people don't read and understand instructions, okay? There's something that our eyes can actually do. Sometimes when we read through things, I kind of call it busybody. Our eyes actually can actually do busybody, yes, in the sense that it's kind of like telling you, you're reading something and it's your brain is kind of like assuming that the next word is going to be this when it is not actually it. So some of us don't take time to read and understand a question before going ahead to solve it. And that actually posed a problem. It posed a serious problem because it actually showed in your delivery of your assignments. Okay, so let's try as much as possible to read questions thoroughly so we don't give wrong answers. I'm actually already talked about your works that were not tidy. Yes, untidy work. Man, some arrangements just looked, I know I actually removed mark for arrangements. I actually did because it wasn't really cool. So let's really work on that, okay? And then this is to those who have not gotten to the next stage. Some of you have actually gave us back the question. And that was really pretty much amazing. having to open someone's submission link, and I'm actually seeing the actual submission link. So probably they're telling the mentors, okay, hey, you mentor, put your name, put your own link and submit it back to me, and I'm going to grade you. That was very, very wrong. I don't know if that was intentional or it wasn't, but it still goes to say that we need to be very careful when we are actually doing our assignments. Please and please go through your assignments. You can actually run it. It's not a crime to run it by someone. If you have a friend, okay, if you have someone, maybe she talked about the community, you can run it by someone just to be sure, especially when it comes to links. Okay, if you have a laptop and probably you finished working on your laptop, send your link to your phone, okay? Try opening it with a different Gmail account or something to see if it actually works, because we had people sending links that we didn't have access to, or links that did not even link to anything concerning the assignment. So test, make sure that you are done. Go through your work again and again, just like you would actually look at the road left, right, to cross before you cross. Do the same thing. Be very, very intentional about your assignments. That's really, really important. And also, some of the reasons why some people were not graded or promoted, they ended up submitting probably the solution of activity 2, or activity 3. You see that same solution in activity 5. Okay, you see the solution of activity 4 in activity 5. Like, there was just a whole lot of issues. And the truth is this, that's more work on the mentors. It's really much more work on the mentors, and it's not supposed to be so. And then if you submit your link, yeah, someone actually talked about the fact that yes, he got a mail to give access, and he gave the access and he's still not promoted. The question is this: there is time. Time factor is very, very much important. I've said this before. When we actually ask for access, if we don't get it immediately or during the time frame for grading, if it comes in later, that doesn't count. Someone has actually sent me their results, their assignment to my personal mail. Okay, that's not going to work. I'm very, very strict like that. So please, let's try as much as possible to be time conscious, understand questions, and if you don't understand it, please ask, reach out to the mentors, reach out to your fellow learners. This is the community also. You can reach out to people, and people will be eager to help you. Okay, so, and then for some people who used Miro or Miro, whichever way you call it, please learn how to give people access. Some people use platforms that is not Miro or Figma. I think mockups or so. Yes. So please try as much as possible to always give access to your work. So I'm really going to just stop here. Thank you very much. So Amachi, over to you.
Okay, thank you, IK. I hope all heard what he said. So now it's time for questions, contributions, feedback, and we'll just take a few. So if you have any, do well to raise your hands and you will be called upon. Okay, thank you. So questions, contributions, feedback. I said feedback. Feedback. Okay. Abbas. Oh, okay. Sorry. Anita, can you share? Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the feedback. Thank you very much. I don't know if this problem is peculiar to my own Google document, because I did get a mail asking me to grant access to my work, and I did. I have been graded and I'm already in stage 2. But the problem that I had was, before I got the mail asking me to grant access to my work, it had already been mentioned, I think, was it on announcements or stage 1? And right before I submitted activity 5. When I did, I checked the access thing to grant access to my work even before I had a problem. And when I clicked on it, it was like, who has access to this document? And then I think I saw everyone with this link, and then I clicked that, hoping that when I submit the link, anyone that has the link would be able to just tap on it and it will lead to my work. But obviously that didn't work because I still got email asking for access to my work, and I did that. But I'm worried about subsequent assignments now. I don't want to have that problem again, especially since it has clearly been stated that the leniency we enjoyed in stage 1 is not going to be so much available in stage 2. Probably, I don't know, I might think that I have granted access, and obviously it didn't work. And in stage 2, probably the strictness of the stage is going to be like, oh, we've already told you about this before, we've already warned the people, so nobody's going to bother sending you a mail and asking for access to your work anymore. I don't even know, or perhaps I should wait until I'm submitting another activity to see how that goes. I'm just saying.
Okay, Anita, thank you. Anyone else with a question, just raise your hand, we'll get to you. So let me answer Anita's question. Now, Ike already said something. He said, if you send your link, before you send your link in, share it with a friend, okay? Or you can use another email account to try opening it, okay? If it works, then you're perfectly fine. If it doesn't work, then you know you have to make the right adjustment. Now, another thing you can do is you can go incognito on your web browser and open it there. And send it there. Try copy the link and send it. Do you get? If it opens on the incognito browser or the incognito tab, then you are perfectly fine. If it doesn't, then you have to fix that issue. Okay, Anita, I hope I've answered your question. Try sharing the link with someone else so they can open it. Okay.
That was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Emeka asked if we can see or if they can see their results. Okay, can you please answer? Because Emeka is asking if he can see his results or everyone can see their results.
Okay, so Emeka, let's see. Okay, so I actually talked about this earlier, like maybe you are not on the call. So the results are going to be available for people in stage 2. From stage 2 onwards, every task you're going to be given, you get to see your results. And I gave reasons why. We had a lot of issues with, like I said, with the grading because of people's problems. We had a lot of back and forth. So if you want to see your grade for the previous activities, that's not going to be possible. But from stage 2 downwards, every task you're going to be given, you're going to be able to see your grade. Okay, so I think that's what I have for you.
Okay, thank you, Ike. Emeka, I hope you answered your question. Faith, you can go on with your question.
Okay, so good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So would there be like a remark, like what we did wrong? We did state it in our results? I don't get.
Ike, can you please answer this question?
Okay, I think that was not actually considered, but I think that's going to be a nice thing to do. It's just that it's going to be a lot of stress. It's going to be a lot of work. Okay, looking at up to 300 and something UI UX people and having to drop comments for each of them. Okay, but we'll look into it. Okay, we'll look into it and try as much as possible to drop some comments that gets to show you 1 or 2 things. We'll try as much as possible to do that. Okay, but no promises.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Faith. Thank you, Ike. Anyone else with a remark? Anyone else with a question? Drop your questions, please. You can raise your hand, we'll see. Nobody? So we're clear. So from what I'm seeing now, going on into the next task now for stage 2, no more problems. Is that it? Okay, Chimeze, thank you. Please share.
Hello, hello everyone. Hello, mentors. I have a question about design. Like, whenever I'm trying to design, like from inspirations, it seems as if I'm kind of copying what they are doing. Like, how do you pros like look at other people's work and just inculcate the design into your own and make it not look like you're stealing the person's work, please?
Okay. Chimeze, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, but before I answer, are you trying to design what the person designed, or are you like doing
No,
a completely?
I've made a wireframe already, but like
Can
I'm
you
looking
listen so
for.
that you understand my question?
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
okay,
Thank
sorry.
you. Now, I'm asking, are you trying to like redesign what the person did? Because some people, that's how they learn. They see a design and they try to redesign it. Or you're doing something completely different and you just saw something online and you want to get inspiration from there, maybe an element to design a particular way and you want to add it into your own. Is it something like that?
Okay, let me give an example. Like, if I want to design a task page, okay, like a task page for an app, and I go to an what this design patterns website, and I go to categories and I go to task and goals. um I'll see some examples of like some other works that people have done, understand? And whenever I'm trying to design, it seems as if uh, my design is somehow off. I don't really I don't really know what's wrong. I'm just trying to know
Okay.
whether there's something special that's, you know.
Okay, Chimeze, let me answer your question.
Yeah.
Before I answer, you said, how do we pros? We're not pros, we're growing, okay? We're learning. Everybody's learning. I'm still learning, okay? So we're not pros, please. Thank you.
Okay.
This is what I do. This is what I do. If I am designing something, let's say I'm designing an e-commerce app maybe for babies, mothers that want to shop for babies, something like that, and I see someone that did something online and maybe one of their visual elements, I like it. Now, I always try to if it's that situation, maybe I can copy one or two things, but add my own zhuzh to it. You get like add sparkle myself. That's what I like to say. I sparkle myself inside so that it
Okay.
won't be the same thing. But if it's a situation where, let's say I'm completely blocked and I don't have any inspiration for any use case, and I just go online and I see anything. Maybe I see someone who did a fintech app and I want to do something in fintech and I'm using his or her design as inspiration. Now, what I do is to avoid copying what the person does or has done, I try as much as possible to understand the case study. What is the typical, feature of every fintech application? Do you
Okay.
get
Yes.
what? Okay, now what would make mine different? How would my own users appreciate mine and engage with mine more than what already is available in the market? Do you
Okay.
get? So I try
Yes.
to understand the case study itself and then put myself, because I always say everything I do, I always put a little bit of myself in all my work. Okay, so that's what I would advise you to do: understand the case study and move on. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so any more questions?
Okay, so let me come in here. Someone actually said something very interesting. So Imod George, you dropped a message on the chat suggesting we submit a Google Doc and then make the link accessible and everything. So please take this suggestion and drop it on the suggestion channel. Okay, so I can actually look into that, please. So take the suggestion and drop it on the suggestion channel and we'll see how to work that out. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Ike. Chimeze, you can also see what Boma just put on the group, on the chat. She said something very interesting. I hope that would also help you as well concerning your question. So any more questions, any review, anything else? Because going on into the next stage, we're not going to be very lenient and we're going to do more application questions. We want to see who you are as a designer. So any questions? So no more questions. Okay. Thank God everybody understands. So IK, over to you. Thank you. Anita, go ahead. Okay,
Yes,
my hands are
me
up now.
again. Sorry.
It's oh the hands.
Okay. Somebody. Can I speak?
Sure. Well, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so this suggestion that somebody dropped, he said, I suggest we submit in Google Doc, then make our link accessible. I don't understand it. What? Can somebody please explain it to me? I'm so sorry.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, so when you submit a Google link, it's about giving access to someone to get your link to be able to access your work. Okay, so there are basically three things someone can do. Someone can either view, comment, or edit. A viewer is just able to see your work. He can't actually do anything. A commenter can actually just drop comments. But an editor can alter what you have done. Okay, so when you go to, I actually wanted to do this. So when you go to your document and you click on share, okay, the first thing that comes up, okay, when you look at the bottom, where you see something like get link, and then below it, you have anyone on the internet with this link can view. Okay, so when you copy that link, okay, that actually gives us access to view your document. But based on what George actually suggested, when you come down and click on change, then you can make some changes and say, okay, fine, we want anybody that has this link to be able to comment or edit. So that gives the mentors the ability to drop the feedback on that document. And it's easy for you to actually just access it because you actually created it in the first place. So I think someone has actually done a tutorial on sharing, but if it has not been done, one of the mentors will do a tutorial on how you can actually make your link accessible and the different privileges you can actually give to someone with your link. And that will be dropped on the group to assist people who don't have that knowledge, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I understand now. Thank you.
So we have more questions. Wow. Okay, Faith, please share.
Okay, what if we actually drop it and someone copies our work, like what we've done, and someone copies?
Okay, so when you say copy
I don't
your
understand.
Work, hold on, don't worry, I think I have an idea. Let me say this first. You are submitting it there's a submission form, and we, the mentors, have access to that form, not the learners. The learners don't have access to it. The only people that have access to it are the people you share it with, of which you're submitting it on the form. So but the mentors won't copy your work. We don't have to copy your work. We are the ones grading you. So that's not something you should worry about, okay?
Faith, I hope you understand.
No, if we grant everybody like with the link, if everybody with the link should be able to access, then how would we now grant like just the mentors? How then we know, okay, it's just the mentors? How do we go about granting just mentors access?
Okay, listen, I understand. Okay, what he's saying is when you say anybody with a link, if you say viewer, it means once you just copy that link and you put it on the submission form, you're sending it directly to us. It's now when you send it to someone else, maybe someone in the community, and you are the one putting yourself at risk. But if you send it directly to the submission list, no one else that is aside the mentors can access it. Your stuff is secure. Do you understand?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so Faith, in addition to that, okay, there are two ways to do this thing. It's either you can actually give certain people, just a particular set of people, the link access to probably comment or edit your work. But the thing is this, we will not start giving out every mentor's email to you. So that is why we need you to just make the link accessible to anyone and share it with just us. Okay, so after your grading, you can go back and lock it up. It's fine. So don't worry, nobody's going to alter your work. So immediately after the grading is done, you can go back and lock your link and just prevent anybody from doing anything with that. Okay, so I think that just answers that. So Amarachi, over to you.
Thank you, Ike. Faith, I hope you are satisfied. More just says it seems your high school, you covered your books a lot. Interesting. Anyway, Faith, you can bring your hands down. Thank you very much. Do we have any more questions, please? Any more questions? Okay, Okpe, please do share.
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. Okay,
Good
I'm
evening.
thinking that why can't we use Google Drive instead? Because that way you're able to see all your assignments in a particular place together. Because I feel like if you put everything on Docs, Docs have a way of mixing with other documents you've worked with before. Of course, you have to name it, but I feel like Drive will make you to give a kind of should I say good appearance, yes, and also it make you refer to your activities very well. For example, if you get to see somebody's driving, okay, this is the person's activity 1, activity 2, 3, 4, it's always going to be there and it's going to be together. So I feel what if we use Drive instead of the links we've been using? Just asking. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's actually up to you, and that's good actually. If you, I can actually coerce people into doing it as a drive. Of course, if you're going to put it in a drive, you're going to give us access to that drive, which in turn gives us access to every document in that particular folder. So that's also a good one, and if you can implement that, it's also fine. I think I actually like that. We get to see. So it's something every other person can actually inculcate into their submissions. You can just put every of your submissions in a particular folder. Okay, so whenever you share, whatever assignment you put up in that folder, okay, if we already, but the thing is, you always have to submit that link. So I think this your suggestion kind of just talks more about order, which is also cool if you guys can actually inculcate that. So I think that's fine. It's a very good suggestion. Thank you, Payami, for that. So Taiwo, go ahead with your question.
I'm sorry, Taiwo, before you speak, someone just dropped something in the chat and the person is like, he or she, I'm not sure, they thought they did a very good work, but now with everything we're saying, they've lost confidence and they wish they could see their grade or like get a remark or something. So I really think we should look into that, and maybe they should submit their work like with the link. They should make it for commenters so that we can comment and maybe leave their grade for them as we're sending it back, so that they would know and like have an idea of where they are. I don't know, maybe this is something we need to talk about because a lot of them are worried.
Okay, like I said, scene of grades is going to be from stage 2 tasks. That's when you see some grades. Okay, so now, but wanting to see your grades from 3, 4, and 5. Look, that's one job. That's one stress I'm not going to place on the mentors. Okay, like I said, there was a lot of issues. Not that you were not graded, but having to do the whole cumulative score to make you say, okay, fine, this is what you got for each of those. I won't put such work on the mentors now. No, I won't, because if everyone were to submit when they were supposed to submit, stuff would have been a bit more easier. So please, what was said today, if it applies to you, you should not be downcast. Ella says something. Failure is just you've known what not to do. So failure is also a learning. So do not be downcast because some of the things we said applies to you. No, you should be happy because we have actually showed you what not to do, and you have actually grown. So don't allow some of the things that has been said to deteriorate you. Let me tell you the truth. If I show you your grade now, If you see a 75, what makes you feel that you actually got a 75? Don't you think that probably there was a bias somewhere? Maybe we just saw something. I was like, okay, let's just give this guy. Okay, let me be honest with you. Some of the people that EKH graded, okay, I actually saw them do their user persona on a piece of paper. And that was that determination that, okay, fine, maybe I can't do it on Figma, I can't do it on Miro, but I just want to do this. And it was done in a sheet of paper. Trust me, I actually give them an extra mark just for that, what they actually just went ahead to do. Was it convenient? I saw someone draw a line and man, I'm like, this is website on a sheet of paper. So your grade, trust me, it does not really define what you know. Because like we all people have actually said, some people went ahead to copy, some people just did copy and paste. But the reason we have given you this, exposed you to these lapses, is so you get to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So please do not be bothered about your grade of 3, 4, and 5. From stage 2 task up down to the last stage, you will see your grades. But don't allow the fact that I'm not seeing the grades of 3, 4, 5 to deter you. If you're still in stage 1, the person who dropped this, if you're still in stage 1, just do the bonus task. Of course, you've actually just even heard what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Do the bonus task, move on, okay? That's just me reacting to that. But for seeing grades of 3, 4, and 5, apologies, but that's not really going to happen. That's not going to happen, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, okay. Taiwo, do you still want to speak?
Yes, I still want to speak. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, go ahead. Good evening.
Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to say thank you to every mentor that has been putting on a lot of work to make sure we are good at what we do. So I'm actually glad seeing myself as the two because the kind of thing we have at the arts, So basically, my question is, can we? Is it allowed for us to DM a mentor, like maybe you make a design, or like I just think of a scenario and I want to make a user persona, like the whole UI this thing that is not related to the task that I've been given, and I want to share with the mentor to get the feedback. Is that allowed?
I don't know about any other mentor, but for me, sure, you can share with me. I want to see it. I think someone recently posted the a UI they did on, I don't know if it's a dog walking app. It was interesting to see someone practice, you get, in preparation for the Figma class. But I feel like what you should do is, what would help you is, after you've gotten or you've shared with us, I think when you finish the design, put it on the community platform so that you'd actually get feedback from everybody else. You get, because feedback is very, very important. It really helps you. Like, you would hear people tell you, oh, it needs more white space. Oh, it feels like the color is this way. Hear it. You should be excited to hear those things. You get, but if you have inspiration and you have a use case you want to deal with, I don't know about any other mentor, but you can actually DM me and ask me at any time. And if I don't respond on time, because like I have this not responding on time stuff, but I will respond. Okay.
That's the habit of tech people generally. They don't reply on time. So another question that I want to ask is,
Taiwo, hold on. Okay, so one of the things I try to discourage, not for the fact that it is not good, okay, but for the case of the fact that this is a community, and then we also want other people to learn, is I try to discourage one-on-one. I try to reduce one-on-one interaction between mentors and learners. I try to reduce it to the barest minimum. Why is because, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you have 3 Android mentors, and then you always have to talk to one. You're getting limited knowledge and you're getting limited feedback because these 3 people have 3 different experience levels. Their knowledge level is different. It's not the same. So you're limiting yourself to just a particular feedback line or lane. So I encourage dropping your questions or your designs on the UI UX channel, on the community, on the public channel. You can tag a mentor, that's also fine, but dropping it there, it's another thing you're helping. You're also helping every other learner to grow, because when they get to see what you have done, if what you've done is very, very nice, you have actually just made people see that, look, wow, there's more they can do. Okay, and if it's not that good, you also now get feedback, and then it's open for people to criticize, give you constructive criticisms. Now you have what a stream flow, a stream of what feedback, what the same. So reduce. I try to tell learners and even the mentors, reduce one-on-one communication and drop your communications out there. You are helping other people as well, and at the same time, you're opening yourself up to more channels of what criticisms. Okay, I am not saying you should not have a one-on-one communication with the mentor. I'm saying reduce it to the barest minimum, and this goes out to the mentors also. So continue with your second question.
Tai, why are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Also, my second question is when it comes to the empathy map and the user personnel, I use Figma to do it. Then I didn't attach the link to this thing. I actually export my design out from Figma and I post it on my doc, on the Google Doc. I want to know if is that a good idea to do? Is it a good thing to do? Because that might be how I want to go on with every other thing. So I want to know if it's a good thing to do before I could go ahead with that. For that would
Thank you, Taiwo.
reduce a grade for me.
So someone asked this actually before the assignment was given, and the instruction was whatever forum you use, if you decide to use Figma, share the link, try to use a piece of paper, take a clear picture and post it. Now, me, I would have preferred if you actually shared the Figma link. So if I graded your work and I knew you did this on Figma, but you didn't share the link, of course, I would have removed mark, because I want you to get used to the platform. Okay. But it's not, but at the end of the day, as far as you put the work there, you put the work there. That's the most important thing. But I didn't see anything like that for anyone. So I just went ahead to do what I needed to do. But when we start doing actual designs, and we say share Figma link, instruction is instruction. If you go and copy and paste or maybe export your design and you put it on Google Doc, anything you see, you take, because the instruction is do it the right way. Go ahead, Tolu. Thank you.
Never mind.
Okay, I'm Dami.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to get this clear because this is what I did. For my empathy map, I use Miro and I just dropped the link on a Google Doc. And then for a persona, I use the link on the Google Doc. So I just labeled it empathy map, the first, then the other one, but they were links to my Miro and then Figma. Is that still okay?
Yes, very okay. That was what was asked. In fact, I think from now on, we'll try and be specific so that it would avoid all this confusion. But yes, that was what was asked. You shared your link and you're fine. Now, there's a lot of comment on the chat about sharing inspiration. Dami, are you okay with that? Sorry.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. There's a lot of comment on the chat about sharing your designs. Now, if you want to share your design, you can go ahead and share it on the community, but please be open to criticism. Like, if someone says something, please don't go and start feeling bad. Just take the advice, maybe ask further questions on, okay, why you think it's this way, and go and work on that. Do you get? Be open to reviews and feedback is very, very important. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any more question? One last one, and I think I'll just hand it over to IK. Okay. No more questions. None. Okay. IK, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amarachi, for being such a wonderful host to the mentors. Emeka, okay, go ahead with your question. I think this is the last question for Robert.
Okay, sorry. I asked the question in the chat. Like, I'm just curious to know, like, going forward, like, how will be the learning? Like, will it be like a self-learning model where maybe we'll be given a task, then we have to find how, like, we'll go personally by ourselves to research and do that, or like, are we going to be giving, let's say, spoon-fed to an extent? Let's say we'll have some classes before we now, let's say like a typical class, maybe in secondary school, something like where you have a class, then there'll be a classwork or there'll be an assignment. So the assignment will be maybe a bit more difficult than what was taught in the class, but it's still the same principle. So I was just curious to know what's going
Okay,
forward.
Emeka, can I ask you a question? Hello? Hello, Emeka, you're on the call.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please just keep your mic
Yeah,
open. So, did you do HNG? Or did you apply for it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that actually explains your question. Okay, so this is a training platform. Okay, we are not going to. There's actually the option for self-learning, but at the same time, we're not going to really spoon feed in the literal form, but we're going to be teaching. So yes, just like it has always been, you'll have classes and then we'll give you tasks that will probably push you to the next stage. That is how this is a training. This is not HNG internship where you're just giving tasks and you're left alone to figure it out yourself. This is a learning platform, it's a training platform. Okay, so it's when you say secondary school and assignments that's going to be harder, no. Okay, but one of the things, like I always encourage everyone, is research. Okay, what you don't practice, of course, definitely you're not going to be very good at. So of course we'll do our best to teach you guys. We're going to be following some certain curriculums, make sure you're well thought, but you guys still have that the responsibility is still placed on you to go ahead and do more, research more, learn more. Okay, that responsibility is being placed on you. So yes, it is a training platform. It is not just task. You are not moved to the next stage by task. You're moved based on the certain level of knowledge you have gained from what was being taught. Okay, so I think that is about that. Yeah, that's about that. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending. The mentors, Marachi, Tolu, Boma, the rest, Chidera, yeah, I can see you, Design Chi, and the rest. Thank you very much for your time, and to the learners, thank you also very much. So please, like I always say, let's make sure to check the announcement channel for announcements. For those in stage 2, please check pinned messages. If you do not have your status icon, you're very, very wrong. So please make sure to check the pin chats and channels for informations as they will be dropped, frequently. Thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful